Speech 8. Surface water management. Reticular canal system for surface water management. In this talk, we shall discuss about the relation between societal norms and the environment. Respected leaders, senior citizens, and dear friends, I am Dr. Shivu, pediatrician from Mysore, Karnataka State, India. My phone numbers are +91 94484777380, +91 7892501 My mail is shivup.183@gmail.com. Visit www.slideshare.net, Dr. Shivu, for my articles on our life on this world and on environment. This is my 8th published speech. In this, we will talk about some of the good societal norms. Is it harming this environment? Life is a combination of physiology, psychology, sociology, economics, and mathematics. Parents having only one child and stabilization of population growth is not going to happen with the present principles existing in the society called good societal norms. Every parent wants their child to get married at appropriate age, stay along with them, to take care of them and their properties, to have needed support during illnesses and emergencies. That is, every parent wants someone, especially their own child, to stay with them even after they getting married or after having child. If the son or daughter has to go to the in-laws house after the marriage without taking their own parents, leaving them alone at their old age in their own house, which they have built when they were young with lots of dreams, love, and affection, where they have given complete care for their children. After the marriage, only house is present without their own children, and the house without life can still be able to give the shelter, but will not be able to give the needed care at the right time, in right way, with love and affection, becomes a family disaster. If this is the case, then many parents with single child after their child's marriage will lose all their dreams of life which they had when they were with their own children, go through series of problems. They will not have anyone with them to stay and to support at the needed time. Society's good norm strictly prohibits the stay of married person to stay with their own parents. The married person have to move to the other house as per the norms, or will not be able to live separately after the marriage. On the other hand, the parents who had preferred sex child as per the norms of the society may go for the same problem if the situation gets reversed. So every parent wants more than one child, so that at least one child stays with them when they are old, especially if the first child which they get is not the preferred child as per the norms of the society, who need to go to in-laws house after the marriage as the trend. Keeping these aspects in the back of the mind, by the influence of the good societal norms and the present trending culture, all the parents wants children who is going to stay with them after the marriage. So people continue to have children till they get the desired child, makes the population to increase and its subsequent effects on the environment. So to save this earth, it is necessary to have only one child with equal rights for both male and female, equal rights to perform rituals for both male and females, equal education and job opportunities for both male and females, equal division of properties for both male and female, making the families or the parents of both the boy and girl to live in a single house after the marriage, and this new couple having only one child, and repetition of this cycle are the some of the principles to be attached by this society to save this planet earth so that the population will decrease. With the decrease in population, total quantity of food required is going to decrease, total volume of water required and its distribution burden decreases, the construction of new houses comes to an halt, conversion of agriculture and forest land into residential layouts and roads decreases. We can go for growing long term crops like trees in more areas and thus make this environment more suitable for all the species including humans. Endless increase in population leads to endless construction of buildings, endless creation of roads and railways, endless extraction of materials from the underground, endless destruction of forest, endless extraction of water from underground, endless emission, and filling waste endlessly to this environment will make this environment to collapse suddenly, and that day may not be far with this type of progress or development that is happening from the past few decades. We have reached this huge number under the heading of population. Now it is not possible to decrease this number suddenly, even with all the concepts that I have mentioned in the previous few lines. So we need to solve the present problems that we need to think. How to grow the food needed to meet the need of the present population. How to get the water to grow the quantity of food required to meet the need of the entire population. How to increase the yield in the unit land area in order to meet the need of the population in the available limited area of land. How to increase the number of trees and forest area to maintain the air quality. How to decrease the area of land utilized in the names of buildings and roads. Thus, make more land physiological and make this earth suitable for the entire flora fauna to sustain their life forever for n number of generations, including humans. Fine. As the first step, I have mentioned a simple irrigation technique to get the water from the place where it is surplus to the places where it is deficit and to distribute it to all the needy areas, especially to drought prone areas, as required volume and rate. And this system we call it as reticular system, which acts like a bridge between flood and drought prone areas, giving justice to both these areas, supports all the living organisms on this earth including humans, even if the population goes little high. But we need to understand that there is a limitation for every system, even for our earth. All the animal population are under control by the mechanism of chain of food, and some of them became endangered species by human activity except the humans. The human population is expanding rapidly with their intelligence. It is not possible to grow food without the help of nutritious land and adequate water in this environment. The land is not going to expand with the expansion of the population. So, we are going to face scarcity of food as the population exceeds the capacity of the land and the end of life in this biosphere. That day may not be far. A person needs 2000 liters of water per day, That means it is 40,000 TMCs of water for 1.3 billion population of India per annum. This volume of water needs to be divided by 365 days and needs to be supplied to all the needy areas without any partiality at required rate, volume and time. For this, we need to develop the system of irrigation which works without any partiality, works spontaneously. Every drop of water should be available and accessible to all the parts of the nation, should give solution to all the existing disputes related to water, should make this environment to gain its potency as it was few thousand years ago. And it is possible if all of us work together with the principle of cooperation and coordination to sustain our life. Preserve planet Earth. So we are humans. We have the capacity to think better as compared to all other species existing on this planet as per the knowledge that we have as of today. In spite of having very good thinking power, not all of us are thinking about ourselves and about the surroundings which is closely associated with us. That is basically with our life. Everyone's life spans between the time of conception till the time of death. Different people give different definitions for life, let it be anything. But we have different classes of life like professional life, family life, personal life, general life, and so on. The professional life. The components of the professional life includes the preparation for the professional life, that is studies, entry into professional course, business, agriculture and so on. Gaining knowledge in that profession to become successful in that profession. Attracting the customers by bypassing the competitors through marketing skills without knowing that environment is influencing the yield or the purchasing power of the customer and thus our business, service and life. For example, if I am a businessman owning few electronic shops and if my customers are poor, then they will buy only small, low quality, low cost televisions. All of us wanted to have good time with our family and spend much of this time with family members, for which we wanted to reach home early, spend time with children, look into their studies, have food with family, have fun with children and wife and so on. But most of this precious time we spend on road for traveling to home or office. Because of bad roads, traffic congestion or overwork, still there is less income and so on. We know drought which made the people to migrate from rural to urban area contribute towards traffic congestion. Personal life. The personal life is the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, the house we live, the temperature we sense and so on. We are very intelligent to sense the taste of the food without knowing that our food contains many poisons in small quantity, which is also seen in the cow's milk and mother's milk. We inhale lot of smoke liberated from our nearby vehicles free of cost, which comes one by one, and we think our travel is very comfortable. We are very intelligent to maintain the temperature of the room, so we give lot of importance for it. We want the air to be clean and we try to manage this inside our room and car. In spite of any extent of efforts, we often go for blocked blood vessels, respiratory illnesses, many diseases, and we fall sick very often. Medicine is becoming stronger day by day. So we take the advantage of it and try to live better and longer with the medicines, sometimes with pain and sufferings. We are all breathing. A man breathes 20 times in a minute. At each breath, we inspire 500 ml of air, that is 10,000 ml or 10 liters of air we inspire each minute. This is equal to 2 liters of oxygen every minute. That is, air contains 20% of oxygen. That is, in an hour we inspire 120 liters. In a day we inspire 2880 liters or 2.88 cubic meters of oxygen, which is equal to 8.4 pounds of oxygen. Trees gives oxygen for our breathing. One tree produces nearly 260 pounds of oxygen each year or 0.7 pounds of oxygen per day. That means every individual needs more than 10 big trees or 16 to 17 average sized trees. If we consider rebreathing the oxygen which is remaining in the exhaled air, then also every individual needs more than 4 big trees. India has 35 billion trees, that is 25 trees per person, a low per capita trees. China has 100 trees, Brazil 1500 trees, Canada 9000 trees per person. Trees also needs to detoxify the gases produced from kitchen and bathroom stoves, vehicles and factories, and has to fulfill its oxygen supply. Since the per capita trees is 25 in India, it becomes mandatory and crucial for us to understand early about the fact that we are very close to the danger levels of air quality. Sri A.C. Lakshmana, a retired conservator of forest, IFS, mentioned in his book by the name Challenges of a Tropical Forester for Sustainable Development at the beginning of prologue that civilization started with the felling of the first tree and will end with the felling of the last tree. We live in cities and in villages with our vehicles for our movement. We are not living inside the thick forest routinely. Trees which produces oxygen are not moving with us. Vehicles which produces harmful gases moves with us most of the time. At present we get the polluted air even if we are not using the vehicle. Environment tries to equilibrate these gases by diffusion and thus try to protect us. This process takes some time, but by that time we breathe that harmful gases several times. By the time environment equilibrates and makes the air less poisonous, we again add harmful gases to the place where we live. This process is continuing endlessly. So the general life is the life, the roads on which we travel, the people we come in contact in the malls, market, railway stations, bus stations, airports and so on becomes our general life. We all know how much happy we are about our general life. The way we injure the environment. We are very good. We are pro environment. We are not injuring the planet Earth. Okay. But we have only few houses for our life, family. Because son is working at one place and he has one house. Daughter-in-law is working in some other place and she has one house. Children are studying. So we have made a house for them and they are with their servant. So we are looking after the property and staying here, looking after the estate and other property. That's all we have. Okay. Son has to travel 40 kilometers from his residence to reach his place of work. Daughter-in-law has to travel 30 kilometers from her residence to reach the place of work. Children go to school by school bus, which is 15 kilometers from their residence. We have our own vehicle to look after the property. Okay. All our houses have bore wells. So there is no problem for the water. Okay. That means without knowing that the trees which were present few meters away dried because of the lack of water, even with deep roots. So we are happily living in this planet Earth and we are not injuring our planet. Okay, all the roads are good. There is a lot of congestion during the peak hours. If the road is little wide, we would have reached our house early. What to do? Government is not good and we hate those who cut the trees. Okay, these are the common words commonly shared with common friends who love environment, and the friends also tells the same without knowing that no one may not be injuring the environment directly, but the environment gets injured this way. We cut lot of trees from the time of manufacturing bricks to windows to doors to decorative articles present in the few houses of one person to road widening for all the people, using lot of petroleum product in the name of travel, using lot of factory item in the house, preventing percolation by creating tiled pavements between the house and the road and making the land impermeable. These are the inferences from the discussions happened between the environment loving friends. All these are injurious to planet Earth that we do without our knowledge. So all of us has to take the responsibility and try to preserve this planet Earth. Please understand these relations urgently. It is the time where we need to consume less area of land in the name of construction, roads, railway paths. It is the time where we need to produce less emission from the vehicles and factories, for which we need to live in such a way where the need for usage of vehicle will not arise regularly. It is the time to use locally grown items which does not go through pollution causing factories or go through series of places in the name of business. It is the time where we have to grow more trees which we have already utilized. It is the time where we have to grow our food sufficient enough to become self-sustainable without depending on the imports, because imports may stop all of a sudden as the population of the exporting nation reaches the critical number. It is the time where we should become secure, as we are also the part of this environment, by growing more trees and food articles sufficient enough to support all of us, which is also going to support many species which are vanishing from this planet Earth. It is also the time to think and act to prevent the lands going for desertification or desertify the land which are already become a desert. Who is responsible? We don't want few things to happen on this planet Earth and we think we are not involved in it. Still changes are happening. Then who is responsible for it? No other animals and plants except the human beings are responsible for the changes happened in this environment, because they all live in harmony with the nature. It took 2 lakh years to reach the population of 1 billion in the year 1800 on this planet. It took only 200 more years to become 7.6 billions from 1 billion. India had 3.06 lakh registered vehicles at the time of independence. Now it is more than 25 crores. India had 33% of land covered by forest at the time of independence. Now it is 20% with less trees per hectare of forest. We are consuming 30 to 40 square kilometers of land per 1 lakh population in rural areas. 5 to 10,000 people live in square kilometer of land in urban areas with the average population density of 455 per square kilometers in India. We have already consumed more than 3 lakh square kilometers of land in the name of construction of lands. We have already consumed more than 1 lakh square kilometers of land in the name of road and railway paths in India. The present already created cost of roads in India is about 600 lakh crores, that is 60 lakh kilometers of road multiplied by 10 crore rupees per kilometer of road on an average. The present cost of railway track in India is about 120 lakh crores, that is 1.2 lakh kilometers of track multiplied by 100 crore rupees per kilometer of track. The present cost of flyovers and metros in India is about 100 lakh crore rupees, that is 50,000 kilometers multiplied by 200 crores per kilometer. Every day India spends rupees 14,000 crores on petroleum products. That becomes 50 lakh crores rupees per annum, that is 1000 lakh crore rupees in the past 20 years. So keep these things in mind. We will just go to that model village, that is model village can they save this earth. So first we will see what is this model village. A model village means it is the community living of around 1 lakh people with good houses for all the families with 4 to 6 square kilometers of land, with all the needy institution within the campus, with 200 to 250 square kilometers of land of agriculture around the village to grow all the food we consume, and to grow trees in about 30% of the land belonging to the model village, that's about 5 million trees. If we would have planned for this type of model village in the year 2000, we would have saved at least 50% of this money through all these expenses. That is, we would have saved about 900 lakh crore rupees of money. India has 20 crore families and each family would have saved 45 lakhs. Please think what is needed within us to achieve all these things with the help of Mother Earth, who is providing all our needs continuously. Burden on natural resources. India has 2 to 3 bore wells per hectare of land through which we continuously extract the water from the underground and thus make the surface ponds to become dry very fast. These changes are seen even inside the forest. Thus the forest animals comes to the villages in search of water and also makes the trees to not to get the water, and thus they become spontaneously dry and die. India has more than 7 lakh villages. The population in these villages ranges from less than 200 to more than 10,000. More than 1 lakh villages in India has less than 200 population and less than 40 houses. The population of maximum number of villages in India ranges from 1000 to 5000. Creating all the needy infrastructure, instruments and the staff, maintaining the quality continuously in all these villages is injurious to the environment. For example, creating a single road of 12 feet width for 5 to 6 kilometers in 5 to 6 direction connecting the neighboring villages will consume 0.144 square kilometers of land per village, and for 7 lakh villages it becomes 1 lakh square kilometers of forest and agriculture land. Imagine Why the number of villages are increasing like this? The population of India needs 70 crore kilograms of cereals, 14 crore kilograms of pulses, 20 crore kilograms of vegetables, 7 crore kilograms of sugar, 7 crore liters of cooking oil, 30 crore liters of milk per day. And we are the major dependent on import. We need minimum of 2500 square meters of land per head to produce the minimum food needed for our survival. But we have only 1250 square meters of agriculture land per head now. That means the land of India is already supporting the population which is beyond its capacity. That is, it is accommodating the population which is twice to its capacity, thus making us more dependent on the import. Imports may stop all of a sudden as the population of the exporting nation reaches critical level. That day may come very soon. Developed countries considers 30,000 square meters as the minimum land required per head for all the things like for growing food, for getting air, and to digest the excreta that the humans excrete. India's population is going to become 1.5 billions and the world's population is going to become 8.6 billions by 2030. As the population density increases in the exporting nation, they may stop their export to our nation, which is expected around 2030. At that time, the per capita agriculture land of India decreases to 900 square meters, which is very much insufficient to meet our needs. Then imagine the situation when there will not be sufficient per capita land for agriculture, there will be non availability of sufficient water for the land of agriculture to grow the grains, and there is no import. We need to understand that agriculture and growing trees needs water as the vital component. Animal and birds need agriculture and trees for their survival. Possible solutions: now it is necessary to utilize the available surface water effectively in India to become food independent, which will not only make the humans to survive, but it will also support all the animals and trees. It is possible to eradicate the drought to the maximum and flood to the extent possible by effective utilization of surface water by nature friendly, efficient irrigation methods. Make the people around 1 lakh to live in small area called energy efficient model village with all the needy facilities available in their own place of living like education, health, administration, sports, business units with 250 square kilometers of land for agriculture and tree plantation, so that usage of vehicles for transportation, usage of petroleum products, and pollution will decrease to the maximum. Universal organic community cooperative agriculture will make the necessary food items to grow locally to meet the needs of all the people, and this helps to achieve positive health with the decrease in transportation. It is possible to create convenient connecting paths with the satellite based survey system, and it makes all the places nearer by making the connecting paths to become shorter. These are the ways by which we can preserve planet Earth through less pollution, less emission, less transportation, Less area of land utilized in the name of construction, road and railway track creation, thus preventing global warming and climate changes and make planet Earth a better place for our living. For more details, you can log on to www.slideshare.net by Dr. Shiv P. Thank you for listening to my 8th uploaded speech. I think you got an idea on the relation between the societal norms and the environment, why population is increasing with these good societal norms and trends, with increase in housing, roads, vehicles, with this type of lifestyle, its influence on the natural resources. So the solution is one child for one parent with equal rights, adopting the principle of living together of both the parents of boy and girl after the marriage of their children. This is the present need to save this world intact. If we stick to the same old principles, we all will reach the end very soon. If you like this, then you please subscribe my channel and share with your friends, relatives and family members till it reaches all the leaders of this world to take necessary measure so that this world remains as it is for n number of years. Thanks once again.